Is it really a whole new world if that world already exists in an animated movie? Hey, it's Zadie, and you're watching my channel Flytte Kartina, where I give movie reviews, spoiler rants, trailer reactions, and a lot of different things, like Random Thursday videos. Speaking of Random Thursday videos, you guys will be seeing a lot more of those instead of movie reviews and trailer reactions because I will be unavailable to watch movies during a certain portion of the summer. So that doesn't mean that I won't review or do spoiler rants on them, it just means that I'll do them later in the summer than instead of the week of the release date. Today I will be doing a spoiler rant on Disney's Aladdin. I don't think I need to explain the plot of this movie to you because most of us grew up watching Aladdin, and I think that's what this movie kind of expected out of its audience members too. Pro tip, if you're a movie watcher, never follow any Disney social media account ever if you want to watch the movie with no expectations, because they pretty much release the entire, all of the highlights of the movie in mini clips on their social media pages. Since this is a spoiler rant, there will be talk of spoilers, so if you haven't seen this movie, then you probably shouldn't watch this video. Unless you like living on the edge, then I'll say yeah, keep watching. I think that's enough of a spoiler warning, so now it's time to rant about Disney's Aladdin. Guy Ritchie directed Aladdin 2019, which I didn't understand the meaning behind it, but after watching it, it wasn't a horrible decision. I could definitely see his style of filmmaking throughout the course of this movie. It's really hard to not compare the live-action remakes to the originals, and I don't think this live-action remake for Aladdin lived up to its predecessor. It had its moments of greatness where I did feel like a kid again, but overall I didn't really get, the whole this is Aladdin the original and then this is Aladdin 2019. This wasn't the greatest Disney remake ever made. It had its moments, but overall it didn't really go leaps and bounds farther what the original went to. It's a nice enough recreation, but I don't think this movie would have done as well if the original wasn't already in existence for it to be compared to and for the base of information to be there. Even after everything that I just said, I did enjoy this movie. It was when I started analyzing it that I kind of was grounded back to earth and got a reality check to the realities of the movie industry. But this movie did a good job of making me relive some of these memories and just giving me a little fun twist to different things. The setup for the first scene is beautiful, but it's also really, really fast, which kind of sets the tone for the entire movie. This movie goes by very, very quickly, and you're just kind of I don't have any points in time where I have a break to just rest while the plot, stays resting with me. The plot just keeps going and going, and the pace never stops. It just picks up and then slows down back to its original pace, which is still fast. Let's talk about the acting. The acting was one of the reasons why I didn't enjoy this movie as much. It seems like the actors did have a lot of talent, and they found the faces to match the characters from the animated feature. I can't really give a definite opinion on the acting because I'm not an actor or an expert on acting or anything like that, but just the chemistry between the characters was there and I saw it. It was when they were separate was the problem, especially with the guy who played the Aladdin part. These characters didn't stand alone. When we were first introduced to Aladdin, I'm like, this guy's cool, he's got the face and the ability to do the stunts that they're asking him to do. But him as a character, I didn't think that he really connected with the character enough to be alone. He needed help from other characters and from other actors to help himself get into more of the character's mannerisms and little conversational things that happen and stuff like that. The girl who plays Jasmine in this, who's Naomi Scott, she's been in a couple of Disney things. She was in Lemonade Mouth, and then she's recently been in Power Rangers. She did a good job of, portraying the character of Jasmine, even like the writers deepen the character of Jasmine a little bit more into her intellectualness and her way of doing things, you know, that rebellious spirit that she has in the animated film, but like just in a different way with Naomi Scott. Now they do introduce a new character. Her handmaiden Dahlia is played by, I don't know her name, but she's in New Girl as one of the side characters. She does a good job in that. She does a good job in this. I really liked seeing her in this different role. It's kind of surprised me when she came on screen. I wasn't expecting her because I didn't watch any of the trailers for Aladdin except for the teaser trailer that came out in the beginning of its marketing career. So let's talk about Jafar. I saw him as a strong, decent villain. His motive was there, and so you could see his climb to and rise to power, and there's certain things that are introduced about his character that are, you know, reused into the second and third acts of the movie, which are really cool. However, they didn't make him this like old man. They made him like younger. In the animated feature, he's like, you know, an older gentleman who's been at this game for a long time, and he's like, I'm getting older, so I might as well take over right now. I miss the Jafar who was creepier and more into the black magic sort of idea, and had this, you know, undertone of creepiness to his character. But with the villain that we got with this new Jafar, of the younger Jafar, he was more of a, I'm a young man always in looking for anything and everything that could give me more power so that I can rise as quickly as I can, and then, you know, demolish everything that's in my way so that I can live a great life in the end of my campaign. With Jafar's sidekick Iago and also Abu, Aladdin's sidekick, I feel like we could have done without the animals, or at least give the animals a little bit more character. They tried to with Abu. With Iago, they just kind of reduced him to a parrot, which was funny, and it kind of gave me a new take on things, but I missed having that banter between Jafar and Iago, like, just because there's a valid explanation for having a bird talking if there's magic introduced in your world. With Abu, he looked like a CGI monkey and a plot device half the time, so I didn't really enjoy his character as much as I did in the animated feature film. I've been avoiding this for a long time. Let's talk about Genie for just a quick second. So Genie, played by Will Smith, everybody was making fun of the CGI mess that he was in the trailer and in the first looks from like different companies during its, you know. Anyways.
O great one who summons me, I stand by my oath, loyalty to wishes 3.
I didn't mind the CGI in it. Like, that's, I mean, it's a movie. Like, it's a kid's movie. What do you expect? When Will Smith was doing what Will Smith does best, and that's being himself, then that was a great time for me. I was really enjoying how he was acting and how he was reacting to other people, and, you know, instead of the moments when they were trying to make Genie look like and imitate Robin Williams' Genie, when that was happening, it was less of a character, and he didn't do as well acting wise, or, you know, portraying the character. When Will Smith was doing Will Smith, and that was when I really enjoyed his performance in this movie. And with the CGI problem that people had, if the CGI isn't as bad as the Jumanji monkeys, then it's not super bad. It's fine. Let's talk about a little bit about the music. I enjoyed the music, like, for the most part. It was a new take on the original, kind of like how they do things in the Broadway production of Aladdin. Some of the music sang by some of the people, I was like, yeah, they're trying to hit the notes rather than portray the character through the songs. And that's not horrible. It just kind of detracts from their performance and from the character itself. The cinematography and coloring was beautiful in this. I really enjoyed everything that I saw visually on the screen, except for a few things. Like, there was some staccato camera work that was going on where it was just kind of like, it felt like it was sped up, and it distracted from the actual scene that they were performing. The stunts were also really cool to see, just some of the different things that I could see Aladdin doing that didn't show in the animated feature, but it's the same kind of, it's the same aura, if you could say, that he had in the animated film as he did in now the live action remake. Along with the stunts, the costuming was beautiful. I mean, and pretty much everybody in this movie looked beautiful, even the Sultan. Like, it was kind of annoying. I was like, oh, yet another gorgeous person that you can see on screen. It was great. Let's talk a little bit about the third act of this. I don't really know what was happening during the third act. I didn't feel the same sort of tension and climax moments that I did in the animated film. The reason being is that in the animated film you have a time crunch. Jasmine is stuck inside of a sand timer, and you know she's gonna die if Aladdin doesn't get her loose somehow. And then also Jafar is a huge snake. All a mess of things, and Aladdin's just kind of like this small tiny person in the midst of all of this. But in the feature film, I didn't really, the live action, I didn't actually feel any of that tension or climactic moments where I'm just like, oh, everything is at risk at this moment. I will have to watch this movie a couple of times in order to figure out, you know, its own vibe and stuff, because it's really hard to not compare to the original Robin Williams or to the original beautiful animated film with great characters and amazing music to accompany it. And so at the end of it, I was enjoying it. It was entertaining. It's really fun to see on the big screen because of all the colors and the sound that you hear, and just, I don't think anything can replace the in-theater experience. Question of the week is, what is your favorite Disney live-action remake that they've done so far? It could be anything from Jungle Book to Maleficent. Let me know in the comments down below, but before you scroll all the way down, you should probably see the few buttons that you see on the description box down below. So if you like this video, it'll help me because of the YouTube algorithm. Subscribe to my channel, ring that bell notification if you haven't already, so that you're one of the first people to know when I post a new video. As always, thank you guys so much for watching. Have a great Random Thursday. I will see you on the other side of the screen. Bye!